And here we are again, trying one more time to get that last endorsement for the Ericsson Skycrane. If you were with us yesterday, you know that our first attempt cost us a little bit over $70,000, and while we were in the air trying to get that, our aircraft was doing just fine. We got notified from ATC that things were going on, and all of a sudden we had our old friend crash to desktop rear his ugly head again. So, some decisions were made since then. Inside of our companies, things have changed. I no longer have 2 aircraft, that is for sure. We went down to 1, sold it, and now we are trying to earn our money back. So we did that. We wanted to get our hoist endorsement, so here we are in our certifications. Let's jump right in. I've already got everything hooked up as far as the bindings go on the aircraft, so we should be able to just jump into this and get this mission started. If you did not see yesterday's video and what goes on with the trim for not only the Ericsson but other aircraft in the system as well, rotorcraft specifically, be sure to check out that video. We are going to jump in and figure out if we can get our endorsement. Let's take the exam right about now. Well. I don't know about you, but that didn't look like too difficult of a mission right there. Maybe I'm seeing things. Either way, I'm excited. I've got an aircraft that is trimmable under my belt. We have some good things to look forward to right now. We really do. I can only imagine what is going to happen from here. This should be interesting. It does seem to be taking a considerable amount of time to load this in. I sincerely hope this gets beyond the 1 minute mark for the stream. It would be a little bit disappointing if we just got right into the airport and got the CTD right away. Okay. The spinning was Wow, it's going to be a long video. See, the stuttering I'm getting on the graphics already is very disconcerting. I do not know why that is happening. The only thing I can suspect at this point would be I am about to experience another CTD. Wow, chunky graphics. Ooh, this isn't good. This isn't good at all. I'm not exactly sure what is going on at this point, but ooh, this is not okay. I'm pretty sure nothing's going to change if I get in the aircraft. I'm pretty sure my graphics aren't going to smooth out. I'm very curious as to what is going on right now. It is another day in the life of Microsoft 2024, apparently. Something that I have done to my graphics settings while not online has not been reverted back to the way I use it to stream. I wonder if I'm even going to be able to fix it without a crash. Uh-oh. I'll go come along for the ride. Let's see what we get to, because so far I've hit the settings button with no response. Everything is very, very laggy, obviously. I am on the TAA VSync is off. Let's go deeper into the graphics here. Dynamics, I believe I may have turned this up and not reverted it. Yes. Can I get it back down to 30? It's going... Oh. Too far. Too far. Can I come into this box and just type it in? Yes. Okay. One thing at a time. That's one thing. I can see the simulator still chugging behind it, though. Pre-caching is on high. Let's take our buildings down from ultra. Let's put those at high. And I think what I might actually do is bring this off of the TAA anti-aliasing and try to push this into a DLSS super res. Never auto, not quality, not balanced, not performance, not ultra performance. Which setting? I believe it was just DLAA. It looks like it's sort of smoothed out a little bit. Anything else I can do to help with this issue? Ray trace shadows. I've got everything else pretty well turned down. Let's go save and back. Oh, I went back to the runway. It doesn't appear as though anything has changed. So I am going to come out of sim one more time. Boy, I really hope this doesn't crash. We're going to back out all the way again. Uh-oh. I can't tell what's going on. I went back to the escape button and nothing happened. The program hasn't froze yet. Let's try main menu. Yes, I want it to end. I want the glitchy, not so glamorous garbage to go away. I do not know what the issue is with this right now. Even if I come into a free flight, everything is just a stutter. Interesting. I wonder if this has anything to do with the streaming software. I know I've had people mention that before, that it is probably a setting within the streaming software. However, I haven't had this issue prior. Very, very interesting. Let's go back one more time. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get past this in real time in any kind of quickness without totally shutting down the stream and restarting. The whole PC. Hey, I hope they make some. This is Uncle Jarly. I love the name, man. That's great. He says, I hope they make some improvements with the SAR missions. There are some. They are not possible to make without a winch. Yeah, absolutely. We've been going over that for a little bit too long at this point because it is such a frustration. I hope that once they kind of work all of these bugs out, all of those issues will be resolved. The only thing I'm concerned about at this very moment is why my computer is deciding to say no to flight sim. It's very, very interesting. What I might do here for just a moment is put up a little bit of a banner, and what I am going to do is hopefully work within my edit software to get this back out of Chunkyville, because this is pretty nasty. Some of those missions that are buried out in the woods, though, I've been able to find locations nearby where I can actually land. And in doing so, that actually gives you the affordability to get out of the aircraft and walk up to the survivor if they're close enough to the aircraft. That does not always wind up to be the case, though. That is for sure. It is a little bit glitchy, much like everything else, but I was able to get it to work several times. A little bit of a trick on the backside. If there's a spot close enough to land, it is possible to sometimes make that happen. Not sure what's going on with this software, so let's see what we can do. A little bit of background music while our technical team gets in on this. And by technical team, I mean me, myself, and I. Uncle Charlie, what kind of computer are you running? Do you have a newer graphics card? What kind of settings are you running on yours? All right, I think we're making progress. I think we're making progress. We'll see. The one thing we haven't seen either is the smoke simulations working properly. These have not yet been properly represented in sim outside of on one occasion for me, which was pretty disappointing. I'm looking forward to seeing those working again. I am loading in a fresh version of the simulator right now, and it does appear to be doing a little bit better. It's probably going to be a hot minute before we load this time through, but we shall see. You're on an Xbox. All right. Are you getting good frame rates and your fidelity's looking everything like it should? I think that's the one problem about the PC is just the specs have to be kind of through the roof to get it to really work as well as it's capable of. Whereas in an Xbox, I think that's just kind of built right in. I don't know, I don't have any experience with the Xbox though. Well, I'm happy to see that the graphics are running smoothly so far, but I'm not in sim. Getting a little bit of a slow load time, which is a good thing, believe it or not. I am on a PC, and my computer specs, well, let's see. They look a little something like, oh, we don't want that one. We want this one. Really? Let's show it to you 3 more times. What do you say? These are the computer specs. I'm on a 2080 Ti graphics card running an AMD Ryzen Threadripper 2950X. 11 gigabytes of RAM and only running Wi-Fi, which I think is actually a part of the issue a lot of the times with the sim, since this is a light client and it's all being streamed. However, I do get really decent internet speeds where I'm at, so I mean, I'm averaging around 200 at this point. But also the older graphics card, my 2080 Ti is RTX, but it is quite a bit older structure. What I've considered doing is actually getting a duplicate of that card and running an SLI bridge between those two and doubling that to 22 gigabytes of VRAM. Those cards should be relatively inexpensive by now, if they're available anymore, even without them being rebuilds. But I think that would drastically improve the overall performance of not just the sim, but the sim while streaming, which is my biggest concern, because it's really painful for me to have to put out that kind of content for you guys. Especially when we have to go through a little intermission as such while this thing chugs its way into another load. But it is what it is. It's been doing this kind of thing for quite some time now. Have you tried every part of the career mode, or are you specifically working on that search and rescue aspect of it too? Sometimes it looks like it, but most of the times the ground and the things around, even now. Yeah, the sky does look good. The settings that I was doing prior to this video were actually putting out some of the most incredible graphics I've seen so far. I mean, I was at what was the airport code? LOWK, Langenfurt. If you fly just behind the airport, there's a full-out cemetery behind it with headstones and everything. The amount of detail was incredible. And instead of the hay bales on the ground kind of looking relatively flat, I was getting to the point where I was pushing the graphics so hard that you can see every individual hay bale as you flew over at like 200 feet. It was amazing. Alright, let's see if it continues to run smoothly or if we get back into chunky funk. Alright, everything seems to be back. I think that's because I went in and changed those graphics settings while streaming. So once we got this taken care of, we're going to go back and get that last endorsement. I agree. There is a way that you can do that, though. In the settings, you can go in and download certain parts of the game that you use frequently. Like if you're flying in the same area on a regular basis, you are able to go in and choose to download that specific location and save it in your cache. Alright, my crew is on. Since I didn't turn it off between this little CT we got here, I do not want to do that. Where are we going here? Oh my goodness. Alright, let's get back on track. We're going for certifications. Oh wow. We're going for the old exam. Now, I paid for this yesterday, and what I find interesting is that it still seems to have recognized that expenditure towards the expense of this license, which is absolutely fine by me. Not on Xbox, though. Interesting. Yeah, see, though, okay, maybe that's just a benefit to having PC versus Xbox, then. Because you guys don't really have that much onboard memory, maybe? I don't know. I haven't downloaded any of the streamed information, too. I'm just going strictly off of stream at this point, and honestly, the results that I'm getting have been pretty good. Most of the issues that are graphics related are just me pushing my card too hard. Man, these load-ins are taking long today. Were you able to get all your trims set up? That's been everyone's point of contentions with Rotorcraft with this part in the game. And yesterday I put out a video that shows me using my controller with just like the touch of my fingertip to trim and control the helo. Got that dialed in pretty good. The only one that it sort of works on is still the H125. It's very finicky. Not a big fan of the trim in that it can be done, but it takes an excessive amount of time to get it to where it should be. Oh, this is looking much better than it did a little while ago. See, just got to set those graphic settings down a little bit. Try one more time. And we'll be back. And the chocks on this gigantic aircraft are the only thing you need to do before you actually board, which to me is downright hilarious. But here we go. Okay. Let's get in this bad boy. I am not worried about any starter procedures or anything on this. I am literally Control E. I ain't scared. I'm not too proud. Let's do this. All I got to do is finish the mission as far as I know, and from what it looked like, there's no hoisting involved. This literally just looks like running a pattern. You can see on the EFB here that it's just basically a pattern and a left wind. Interesting. Fine by me. If that's all it takes to get this endorsement because I crashed yesterday while trying to do this. Sweet. Can't even get the Garmins to come online. There we go. They're starting up. We'll get these on sooner or later. There's only a few of these around the aircraft. There we go. We are going to toggle the parking brakes. We're going to request some clearance. Come out and see what our rotors are doing. I love how these things have the sag to them. The physics model in these is really pretty incredible, and then once you get the chopper underweight and you put it under a lot of stress while you're lifting something, you can see them bend. I completely dig it. Well, all of the replies are working today. We're still going through the nice tight spot between these light poles, which is going to be fun. Alright, we're coming up. There we go. We're getting some positive information out of our needles. I have all kinds of authority on my controls. Stopping at the hold short. Yeah, this chopper is overpowered. If you're just taxiing and everything like that, the tail of this thing wants to whip around real good. It takes quite a bit to keep the tail from doing things you don't want it to do. These choppers in real life are absolute workhorses. If you've ever seen these things working in the logging industry, it's simply remarkable what these things are capable of doing. Not exactly a clean taxi, I'll say that much. Trying to get it trimmed while I'm doing this here. A little fast. It's all good. It's all gravy. Hold control in this. What? Why would I hold buttons to just kind of hover over a spot? I do know that the ATC, however, would prefer it if we were to actually touch down on the ground here. Well, let's see if it actually lets me do it. Oh, so far, so far. I don't know if my landing light is on at this point. That was a good idea. Try to get rid of that tag. A little ATC infraction. She's got a fat bottom, that's for sure, man.
Clear for takeoff, runway 27 Delta, Romeo uniform.
Coming up to 600. Again, it doesn't look like they're going to require me to lift anything, which is absolutely fine by me. All I want to do is get the green check on the endorsement. And again, I'm pretty sure the reason they're doing this is because of the crash yesterday. Was literally in the beginning of the exam while I was just getting in the air. Epic. Trim, triminy, trim, triminy, trim, trim, true. going to reach the crosswind end and then climb to 1,000. And all I'm doing is trying to follow my flight bag's flight path. Keep an eye on the gauges so I don't get too high, just almost approaching the 1,200 foot mark. Ooh. Let this swing over here a little bit more so I can see some more of that EFB and center it on the aircraft, if it isn't already. Reach the end, and I'm just going to follow the yellow brick road around. This might just be the easiest endorsement test ever recorded. Losing quite a bit of altitude here. Didn't say anything negatively about it, though. I'm okay with that. And these graphics are incredible. Come back up to 1,000, still a couple hundred feet up down. Yeah, I tend to overspeed. I'm already at 100 knots. Thanks for noticing.
Liverpool Tower Oscar Echo.
Is that all this endorsement is literally flying a pattern in a large helicopter? Have you done this before?
Fly left downwind runway 27 Delta Romeo uniform.
Delta Romeo uniform wind calm, clear to land runway 27.
Clear to land runway.
I like that the quick reply is working effectively today. Almost at base. Almost in a hover. It's either too fast or too slow. It's barely ever what it should be. Gotta love it. Not my favorite chopper to fly. Give me the H-160 by Airbus. It's developed by Hype Performance Group, by far the greatest airframe I have flown to date. Super smooth, beautiful looking model. That trim sure does help. Coming in. That easy. One little lap. Okie dokie. You gotta love it when it's easy. I think once I do get this endorsement, all I'm going to want to do at this point is earn money quickly. We've already found out that we can't have 2 aircraft and 2 pilots just yet. We can have 2 aircraft, but you seem to be the designated pilot for everything in your fleet. Oh, don't crash. What are you doing? Ah, the amount of stutter. I'm like, come on, man, not 2 days in a row, please. This is painful enough. Give a guy a break. It took 2 days, but I think we've got this. I think we've got our endorsement. Brakes be working. All right.
Oscar Echo, Delta
Should we
Romeo
ground taxi all the way?
Oscar Echo, Delta Romeo uniform taxi to general aviation parking.
Ah, you idiot. Leaving too early. I swear. I'm not even knowing where I'm going. Can you tell I'm in a hurry? Can you tell I want to have this done already? I want to be flying search and rescue with hoist missions, not driving around on an airport in an Ericsson. I mean, cool model, but not what I am here for. That's another great thing about these airframes with the wheels on them is the ability to ground taxi instead of hover taxi. Even though I'm doing it on 2 wheels right now. Should probably add a little more trim back into that, huh? So I don't have to sit there and... There you go. That's a little more like it. Trim, trimity, trim, trimity, trim, trim, true. Almost there. Oh, coming back off the ground again. What the... Yeah, trying to make the turn. A little too early. Drop it like it's hot. All right. It's the slow road home. So what to do from here? I think what's actually going to happen is, like I said, I'm just going to make money. And hopefully I can do those money-making missions as a HEMS pilot. And yep, I'm going the Control-Shift-E to shut that down because I don't know this aircraft from Adam. And that is that. Waiting for the engines to shut down. You should at least be able to kill some fuel. Everything down. 1 and 2. Oh, what just happened outside there? The whole chopper just took like a rock.
You've shown that you've got what it takes to operate more complex helicopters.
Yep.
I'm sure that
Yes,
you
I
can
do,
make
apparently.
some small tweaks to your flying.
All right. Even though I had the infraction in there at the end, everything still went perfectly. Traffic pattern 82, pattern path 69. I don't care. It's a passing grade. In my book, that is all I was asking for. Allows you to fly larger helicopters, which require 2 pilots to operate. Yes, we know that already. You told us. We don't need any more information than that. All right. Now, in our missions, I am curious what has been afforded us on the freelancer side of this, if anything. I honestly don't think that we're going to get any benefit from this in freelancer mode just yet. nope. However, on the employee side, obviously we can do these cargo transport hook missions, but this one's back in the H125. I've got a search and rescue mission here. Those are always fun. Let's see what kind of environment they're in today. Are any of these under the Skycrane? I didn't see what that one was. Airbus. Yeah. There's one. That's in the cadet. Airbus. Yep. See? So what is the point of going through that if you're still going to give me hoist missions that are rated for the H125? Do tell. It doesn't make any sense. I say we go and do one of these missions here because I really enjoy these. Let's try something up in the mountains so we can see what it's like to go tobogganing this time of year. Let's take this one right here. Looks like it's on a pretty good slope. I don't think this is going to go too well. But I'm here to do search and rescue missions, and that is exactly what I am going to do. Oh, here we go with the stuttering graphics again. Ladies and gentlemen, what I am going to do is take a break right now. I guess it was a little short video today, not as exciting as some of the past. However, now at least you know that I do have the final endorsement. And I think we're going to call it a day with that one right there. Thanks for joining along, and we're just going to make some money, and pretty soon, hopefully, we're going to be doing some more of these missions the way we should be. Yeah, we'll see about that.